starting my slack pack of Mount Moosilauke today. Got a beautiful start, waterfall, and quite a climb coming up here. So I just got a moment's reprieve from the steep climbing as I come up Mount Moosilauke, the first mountain in the White Mountains, and I decided to slack pack it Sobo instead of going my normal northbound route, and I am really glad I did that. It gets super steep coming up, but you're facing a waterfall the whole time, so it's gorgeous. I highly recommend anybody doing this to take the opportunity to do it Sobo. It's really pretty, and it's a lot less terrifying coming up that ridge. Going down, you'd have to move at probably half a mile an hour to safely descend, I would think. That's how fast I would go. If you have absolutely no fear of falling and you're very sure-footed, maybe a little faster, but you know, I'm cautious, and you know, things don't heal as fast as they used to, and I also am not as stupid as I used to be when I was younger, so I take things a lot slower now. And yeah, I'm just glad I came up. Also, going down and having your back to the waterfall would just be sad, so glad I did what I did. And yeah, I'm about halfway up now. Got a little flat area before we get steep again, so figured I'd let you know what's happening. So this is pretty cool. As I come right along this section, you can see the trees just up here stop at that height. So I'm right at about tree line, and in the next few steps of ascent, I should come above the trees and just be on rock face. Just broke tree line. First view back over my shoulder. Pretty fabulous. I'm gonna keep on going. All right, just hit the top of Mount Moosilauke, 4802. Came about 3,000 feet over 3.9 miles to get this view. Oh, what a hike, what a climb. The rest of the climb today is going to come right along this ridge line, over that edge there, and then down. So, very exciting. It's cold up here, I had to throw on my jacket, and we'll continue on. And I took the little side trail to the south peak of Moosilauke. You can see the trail coming along the ridge line right there and up to the top. And if you come over here, there's a nice little plaque dedicating a section of this in thanks for Penn Hale, Dartmouth, 1924, who loved this mountain and made possible the purchase of scenic tracks on it for Dartmouth College. And we can look out into the distance, and I believe that's the presidential range out over there that I'll be doing the next couple of days. Nice waterfall. All right, so getting started on our Franconia Ridge hike. We got Just Cuz and Holy shit joining us, and heading out carrying way too much weight and brand new poles. So this should be fun.
That's right, brand new poles.
Brand new poles. Because I broke both of the other ones. All right, so I've done a nice climb, and now I'm just coming through this this ridge just before we get above tree line, and going over Franconia Ridge today. So in a little bit I'm going to start going back up again, and that'll take me up over a Little Haystack, and then at that point I should be along the ridge the whole day doing Little Haystack, Lincoln Peak, Lafayette Peak, and then finally ending with a Garfield Peak before coming down. There's a down in between some of those, but and then I'll come down and camping tonight at Garfield Spring Campground. It's about 7 miles ahead, so I've done about 3 miles so far, and I'm feeling pretty good, even though I have 35 pounds on my back. I'm feeling good because I'm going flat. It was quite a climb up, and I'm sure after I do a few mountains I'm gonna be beat. Today's gonna be a big day with the amount of weight I'm carrying, but you know, it's gonna get me through quite a distance. I'm gonna stay in a few huts as I go, so I probably didn't need as much food, but I've got as much food, so we'll see how far it takes me. I'm sure I'm gonna get to Route 2. Hopefully I use up most of the food by then. That would be the end of the whites completely. My hope is that I've used most of it by the time I get to the Wildcats, and I just am carrying 1 day of food through there because that's supposed to be pretty intense, but we shall see. Okay, this is the first opportunity to really see what we're doing. There's the mountains ahead of me that I'm climbing, the mountains around. View is stunning, and I'll be coming along this ridge line much of the day. You can actually see the trail going up that ridge over there. But I'm going to continue on for now and pause at the summit. 0.2 away. Okay, made it to the first of 4 summits for today, Little Haystack Mountain. And I'm going to go right along this ridge over here. Climb up over Lincoln. And then we'll come down and up and over Lafayette and Garfield, and then camp. So yeah, got a lot of climbing. You can actually see some of the huts in the distance as we come along. Climbing up to Mount Lincoln. This is pretty neat. Very basic path. It's a very touristy area, so the path is very delineated, but going right up there. At the top of Mount Lincoln, looking back down to the top of Little Haystack, which I just came from, and it's a Sunday, so lots of people here. Still got to go over that summit, and then down, and then up. So, quite a journey to make. Made it to the top of Mount Lafayette, third mountain of the day. We're at about 5,200 here, and 1 more to go. Unfortunately, that's way down and then back up. Awesome views though. Okay, I'm coming down from Mount Lafayette right now, and it's incredibly windy. I'm in a tiny bit of an alcove, not much of one. You can see the trail going down that way over Mount Garfield. I'm about to go over that little peak in the distance and camp right on the other side of it. And off in the distance, the next day I'll go over that range, and then Mount Washington all the way out in the distance. Oh, final summit of the day, Mount Garfield. Came across that to get here. Whew, what a climb. half a mile from my campsite, so it's a little chilly up here, so I'm going to keep on moving on. Just left the shelter and I'm working my way down this. Climbed down this precariously, and I'm continuing down this. And yes, this is in fact the trail. There's the marker right there, and this is insane. I mean, lots of people do it, but with a full pack, thank God it's not raining yet. Not until a little later today. I'm gonna get to the falls. It's gonna be nasty weather tomorrow. I'm gonna try to zero at the falls hut. So this is a good spot to take a moment. That is Mount Washington and the Presidential Range right over there. And for perspective, come over here. There's Franconia Ridge. So I came over that yesterday. Right over that ridge there. Camped at the campground down below. Came down, back up here onto the mountain peak, and about to start heading down. And I got a ridge walk along, and I go over these mountains over here and down. Actually, I think we ridge walk and go over that mountain over there. So we'll do it. River Sweet will love the hell out of this.
Oh, you got it?
This is looking at the falls coming down. Just hiked out to Zealand Falls Hut, and this is my fabulous spot for a bath this day. I'm gonna probably go up there a little bit behind some bushes, and maybe I'll wash more than just my legs. So my plan for today was to hang out at Zealand Falls Hut out of the rain and thunderstorms as predicted, and high winds. And turns out it's only a little rainy down here out of the mountains with no thunder and lightning, about 70 degrees. So I decided to push on at least to the Highland Center, which is 7 miles ahead, coming along the AT, which is nicely graded here. It was like a railroad bed. I think it is an old railroad bed. There's only 1 mile of steep at the end. And so you do this. Another hiker's gonna get us over to the Highland Center. And at that point I can assess, do I change my reservation from tomorrow to today, if possible, and head out to the Mitzvah Hut, or do I just stay at the Highland Center for the night? And I don't know what the availability is of either, so I got to make an assessment and then do it. So I'm gonna go with that, and I'll keep updating. For a day that was supposed to be thunderstorms and rain all day, this is actually pretty nice. Mind you, I can see the clouds and the breeze. The top of the high peaks, I'm sure it could be treacherous, but this is some glorious hiking. It's like a walk through the park on a cool, breezy day. So this is a good section to show why the unofficial Appalachian Trail motto is embrace the suck. There is no way to go through a lot of this without just walking through water and mud. You can hop rock to rock, but eventually you're going to get to a section where there is no hopping and you're just going to be soaked. So why even bother in the first place? It's kind of funny. There's a couple carefully stepping around the puddles when we started, and I just was tromping right through all the water. And yeah, I can't blame them for trying, but they were gonna get to a place where you were up to your ankles in mud and there was just no choice. It was straight through or not at all. So yeah, we try, but ultimately we wind up wet We're walking up riverbeds half the time. No point in trying to walk around them. Honestly, sometimes walking in the mud is the softest place to step. It's easier than stepping on all the rocks after a while, since you're going to be wet anyway. But this is how we embrace the suck. So we're going from Mizpah Hut to Lake of the Clouds Hut. Above tree line there's supposed to be some big gusts and rain, but no thunderstorms. From Mizpah, teams of smart people all decided to go back down to the Highland Center, but we being through hikers are not the smart people. So we're going on to Lake of the Clouds and seeing what the conditions are. Chances are we stay there tonight. I don't think it's going to be safe to go over Mount Washington, but we can assess that when we get there. Pretty windy as it is right here, and yeah. So I'll just continue on and see how things go. I'll report back if things get crazy. Alright, coming through the trail just by Mount Eisenhower, and yeah, there's not much to see here. We took the AT route, not the bypass over the summit, because that would be insane. As if this isn't insane enough. So, continuing to hike along, and let's not kill myself by filming this shit. Okay. This way, and entrance to the hut, and my shoes are drying. As we can see at Lake of the Clouds Hut, the wind has decreased a lot, but we're completely socked in, so we're hiking blind. So this should be a fun journey this morning.
Right.
Here we are passing the Lake of the Clouds. It's very cloudy. It's an apt name. Alright, coming up to the top of Mount Washington. Got all this observation stuff. Whew. You can see how well we can see here. It's right in front of us. Can't see a thing. So, should be at the summit in a moment. Let's see what this sign says here. Alright, and Crawford Path. Alright, Lake of the Clouds 1.5, which means we got 0.1 to the summit.
Oh, 0.1 to the summit.
Alright, and here we are, coming up to the Mount Washington summit with a cairn and a bulldozer. I don't know what that's doing up here, but yeah, so we're here. All right. Woo! Made it!
Yes, indeed.
Here comes the Cog Railway. Coming right by. Back to the trail. Here comes another cog, pushing right up. Mount Washington. All right, up to the top of Wildcat Summit. Now that I'm up here, it tells me I gotta come skiing. I've never been here before. Nice view of Carter Lake right by Carter Lake Hut. In the middle of the Wildcats. Busy kicking our asses.